Prince Charles was criticised today by the independent sex abuse inquiry for what they called his misguided friendship with a paedophile bishop, which may have influenced how abuse allegations were handled. Peter Ball was the Bishop of Lewes and Gloucester in the 1990s and was convicted in 2015 for sexual offences against 17 boys and young men. Today the Prince issued an apology. Sky's Home Editor Jason Farrell reports now.
At the heart of this scandal, a former Archbishop, the future King, and a sex offender. The former Bishop of Lewes, Peter Ball, sexually abused vulnerable teenagers for years. He was jailed in 2015 after admitting his crimes, but the Church knew about allegations decades earlier. In their report, the independent inquiry into child sexual abuse describes the response of former Archbishop of Canterbury Lord Carey as weak, and that he frequently seemed to do the wrong thing.
One of the key things that these organisations need to do is separate the governance of the religious side of the institution from the governance of the educational side of the institution. Ampleforth have now done that, but they took 7 years to achieve it. Downside have been talking about it for 8 years, but have not yet managed to achieve it. That says to me that they still put the reputation of the institution above the care and well-being of children. At this moment in time, I personally wouldn't want to send my children to either of these institutions.
The Prince of Wales knew Bishop Ball. Photographed here together, he spoke about him to the Archbishop. And a member of Lambeth Palace and the Duchy of Cornwall bought a property to rent to Ball and his brother. This was misguided, said the report authors, and could have been interpreted as expressions of support for Peter Ball, with the potential to influence the actions of the Church. Victims agree.
I think that Prince Charles has been incredibly gullible and naive. If you believe his assertion that he was taken in by Bishop Peter Ball. I think this can be demonstrated by the fact that Peter Ball admitted an offence of gross indecency and received a police caution for it. And for the future head of the Church of England and the future King of England to not know that accepting a caution involves an admission of guilt, I think is just not credible, really.
A Clarence House spokesman said it remains a matter of deep regret to the Prince that he, along with many others, was deceived by Peter Ball over so many years. As he made clear in his voluntary witness statement to the inquiry, at no time did he bring any influence to bear on the actions of the Church or any other relevant authority. His thoughts remain with victims of the abuse suffered over many years. Most criticism was for the Church, accused of secrecy, prevarication and avoidance. The report says it put its own reputation above the needs of victims and survivors and demonstrated a permissive attitude towards some perpetrators even when they'd been convicted. The Church said it was immensely grateful to survivors for their courage in coming forward and that their testimonies have made uncomfortable listening. Jason Farrell, Sky News.